I don't know. That's gonna be that. Good seeing you, man.
Is this yours, Abba?
No, this is whoever wants it. Whoever wants it can have it. Yes. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Good. Good. All right. All right. Awesome. Okay. So today, we're just gonna start with um, something that we had really good questions about last time is we were trying to build sentences. And so obviously issues of syntax came up, and particularly this word et. We're going to talk about it, and hopefully they'll help clarify some stuff. So feel free to just stop me to feel free to stop me, ask questions, clarifications, and so on. Let me change the screen. Yeah, this is better. All right, so let's talk about Hebrew syntax and what's called the direct object marker. This is the word et that we were talking about earlier. I'm going to get into some definitions and then some examples that's going to be hopefully helpful to you guys. Then we can move from this and hopefully prepared maybe some sentences that you crafted yourselves. And we can try to apply that knowledge to what we're going to go over here. Okay? There we go. All right. So regarding word order, I think we did talk about it before. But just like in English, we'll have a subject, then a verb, and then the object would follow. Okay, so let's say I'm saying I read a book. In Hebrew, it would be Ani kore sefer. Right? Ani is I, kore is reading or read. Right? That's the simple, and sefer, which is our object, right? So ani subject, kore verb, sefer object. Right? This is modern Hebrew. Right? And you can see the example here. If you're taking notes, I'll let you take them. But if you want this presentation at the end, I can just mail it to you as a PDF. You can do with it as you wish. But sometimes it helps, like some people like process better when they write. If you're one of those, it's absolutely fine. I'm like that sometimes, not all the time, depending on the subject. Okay, so you have the acronym SVO. Maybe that's some helpful subject verb object. So, but that's just like the English, right? Now in biblical Hebrew, it's a little bit flexible. Usually, it's the verb, then the subject, then the object. Okay, so Vayomer Moshe, as an example, and Moses said, Vayomer Moshe, right? Like, and said Moses. So if you kind of follow the pattern, and said Moses, it's kind of weird, right? But and Moses said. but it'll be flexible. But for the most part, it's like at least in the modern Hebrew, which is kind of like what we're following here, right? It's the subject, word, object, look at the English. And that was the transition as well to kind of make things a little bit more in tune with the European languages when with the rebirth of the language. And some of the grammar was also kind of made to fit modern paradigms of existing grammar at the time.
So understanding the biblical order, you're saying it's important for reading both biblical and modern text.
Well, just say, okay, so let's say you are reading, when you're reading, you're translating it in your head, kind of thing,
Okay.
right? So when you're reading Vayamel Moshe, so it could sound awkward to you, but it's not a mistake. It's just a bit, the biblical Hebrew has it. Okay. Then there's this word called et, right? We have seen this and we kind of touched on this, but it's what's called a direct object marker. Like it doesn't do anything necessarily, but it points to a definite object. Okay, marks definite. So like marking is good way to kind of get a sense of what this word is. It's like to mark a particular object, the one that will precede. If there's an object, it will precede it. So it's used to mark a definite direct object. And just like I said, like it doesn't have a translation. It has a function within a sentence, but you can't really translate it. Like there's no equivalent in the English for it. It's in a sense a particle, and it introduces an object when it's definite, like when you know exactly what it is, right? Yeah, just like I said, it doesn't.
So it's like a filler?
It's not really a filler; it's a marker.
Like highlighting something in a.
It tells you this. Well, let's look at an example. Like hopefully it'll be clear. So the et is used when the object precedes the letter hey. So ha is the definite article, right? We were talking about the, right? So when I say, for example, ani ohev et hasefer, I love the book. It's a definite object, right? I love that book. This one, kind of like think about it as like with your finger, you're pointing to something. It's that book, but you're not saying I love that book. But you're pointing to something. You're marking something. So that would precede the word hasefel, which means the book. For example, in the first example. Another way that you would encounter it is when it's a proper noun. So like David, Sarah, Luis, Brent, Carissa. So he ohevet et David, right? For example, he ohevet et David. You can't say he ohevet David. It's really bizarre. It sounds really weird. He ohevet et David. She loves what? David. Okay, it's a proper noun. Right? Ani ohev et hasefer. Like what? Marking it. אני אוהב את אשתי. או את מרי אלן. אני אוהב את
Oh, my
המורה.
wife.
right? המורה. אני אוהב את המורה. המורה, definite article. The teacher. And also when it's possessive and we encounter those pronouns as well, right? So we covered the personal pronouns and then we covered the possessive pronouns. I didn't stress the possessive pronouns as much, but for example, when you see possession within a sentence, הם שומעים את המורה שלהם, their teacher. So here it's like you still have the hey in המורה, so that's helpful. But it kind of works in a similar sense. Okay. Questions? Okay, some examples of when not to use it is when the direct object is indefinite. So for example, when I'm buying a book, I'm not buying the book, I'm buying a book, אני קונה ספר. I קונה, buying ספר, book. The way that you would differentiate between indefinite and definite objects in English would be with an a or the, this, that, a. But in the Hebrew, you don't have these things. You have et as this marker that would point to a direct definite object. So why isn't there an et in that sentence, that example? Because a book is not definite, right? So the following example, hu ochel tapuach, he's eating an apple. hu ochel et tapuach, no, ochel tapuach, an apple. Apple, it's not, he's eating the apple and something different. Ochel et hatapuach. But like I can't put hey there and not put et, is what I would say. I can't say hu ochel et tapuach. Doesn't work. Hu ochel et hatapuach. Et ha. Here I think it works. אני אוהב את הספר. Doesn't work with pronouns. But even in the possessive, הם שומעים את המורה שלהם. המורה שלי, התפוח שלי. That was sneeze to have my nose. Where it come out? Okay, so think of et as a way of saying, pay attention, this object is known, it's specific. Okay, so specificity is kind of the hallmark of this part of it. Okay. In biblical Hebrew, for instance, in the Hebrew Bible, in the Tanakh, you'll encounter it a lot, and as we just said, So in Genesis 1:1, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. You can see the hey preceding, and right, so there is specificity, right? So without et, it would have been something like Bereshit bara Elohim shamayim ve'aretz. So if you remove the et, the hey goes away. Because it's not definite. Again, it's not definite. Not specific. But in this particular verse, it's specific. So both are definite, right? And obviously it's also used in modern Hebrew. Marissa didn't like what I said.
No.
Leaving. Okay. Okay, summary. And then maybe we can do some questions. Hebrew sentences, right? So generally follow subject, verb, object, like in the English. And very common if you're doing some reading in ancient Hebrew, you'll encounter the verb subject object. Okay, so et is used to mark definite direct objects, right? We talked about specificity. They appear both in biblical and modern Hebrew. And you can't really translate it into English. Like, as in of itself, it doesn't have an equivalent. So, like, if it stands on its own, like, there's no translation you can provide. It's an article with no equivalent in English. Okay? All right, questions?
That wasn't as difficult as I was expecting.
Oh, okay, well, that's good to hear. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah,
Does it make sense?
makes sense.
It does make sense.
That's good. Usually, like, this is not something you would say in, you know, exploring grammar a little bit more. It's like, that makes sense.
See, then that's hard to understand.
Okay, that's good. So there is a system to the maps. Okay. Okay. So let's do some of your sentences. And armed with that knowledge, let's try and see what you came up with. Type and speak. One second. All right. So, Ignorance. Gutmann Vinland. Gotta have a favorite one. Okay, who's first?
I can go.
All right, Julia. Bevasha.
Okay. אבא שלי מדבר עברית ואנגלית, ואימא שלי מדברת אנגלית.
This is great. This is actually a perfect sentence. There's nothing here that I can.
If only you saw my spelling.
אבא שלי מדבר עברית ואנגלית, ואימא שלי מדברת אנגלית. Yeah, very good. Very good sentence. Do you know what it means, guys? Not Julie. אבא שלי, my dad, מדבר,
So.
speaks in English.
And English.
ואימא שלי
My mom
מדברת
Speaks in English.
אנגלית.
Oh, English.
Huh?
It's English, right? There's English.
Yes. Yeah. Great. All right. Awesome. Well, we didn't have the at here, the direct object marker, but as far as syntax goes, right? And so object, אבא שלי, sorry, subject, מדבר, verb, עברית ואנגלית. Object, right? You wouldn't say מדבר אבא שלי עברית ואנגלית, right? You would start with the subject first. So, good work, Julia.
I have one with et too,
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
but I thought this was more interesting. I'm not sure if this is right. אני אוהבת את הים בתל אביב.
את הים בתל אביב?
כן.
Okay. Sec. What happened to my beautiful font? Why is it not consistent? Okay. Okay, let's work through the syntax. אני אוהבת, אני, subject. אני, I, אוהבת,
It's a verb.
verb, love. What?
No meaning.
Definite, right? Because hayam, the sea, the Tel Aviv, the sea in Tel Aviv.
So.
Awesome. That's good too. I would also add this maybe. So what you said wasn't bad. I'm not saying, but like usually you would say I like the beach there. Like not just the sea in general, but אני אוהבת את חוף הים בתל אביב. So the beach. Or you can say just אני אוהבת את החוף תל אביב. But hayam is perfectly fine. All right, awesome. Julia, good job. You're rocking it.
Thank you.
Okay. Someone else did not feel intimidated.
I guess I can go.
All right.
That's my first one.
Let's do it.
Yaled, Shali,
Again, sorry.
Yaled, Shali, ahava ima shelo.
Okay, so this is actually a good example. So הילד שלי, you can say ילד שלי.
Yeah, I have
But it-
Khaled. No, I don't have ha.
Yeah, so this is a definite. It's not a kid. It's your kid. So it has a definite object. Sorry, this is a subject, but it's definite. Especially because it's possessive. It's not in the abstract, like any קונה ספר. It's like I buy a book. It is your child. It's specific. Okay. So הילד שלי, because it's masculine, it'll be אוהב. Ohev. And then ima is what? It's a proper noun. So you need to have it because it's a proper noun, right? הילד שלי אוהב את אמא שלו. Okay. Subject, verb, object, proper noun. And that's why the et is required.
And the ha is just a definite article or the possessive for Khaled.
Yeah, so
I just in my mind I just think ha is the, so I think I would
yeah, it's not in some cases. But what is it? Oh, sorry. So it functions as a definite article, as an article, but it also works to designate a definite.
okay.
So in this case, הילד שלי, like, especially when you're talking about possessive.
Right. So it's my boy instead of the boy. It would be translated. Okay.
For me, I just always say the boy of mine.
You could say something like
That's
this.
how I think to remember.
So ילד אוהב את אמא שלו. It's kind of a weird sentence to say. Kid loves his mom. Maybe a kid loves his mom. ילד אוהב. But then like it's kind of like kid loves his mom. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Which kid? That kid loves his mom? Okay, right. The kid loves his mom. So within the conversation, there is a pretext. You're talking about a particular child. Now you can say something this. Which makes a little bit more sense. ילדים אוהבים את אמא שלהם. Children love their mother. Or like love their mothers or something like that. Right? It's a statement. Like you're making a statement. Like
You go for the in front of the children, could you go ha? What was the word for children?
ילדים.
Hayaladim. Could you do that?
you could, you could,
I.
and then
Would
it's
that
not
be
a statement
I then?
anymore. It will be the children.
Or my.
You are talking about a particular group. You're talking about a
Okay.
specific group of kids. You're not talking about kids in the whole world. Like you're not making a sweeping statement about children in general. You're talking about a group of kids somewhere. So here, the subject here is your kid. It's not a kid mine kind of thing. It's my kid. All right.
It's sinking in slowly.
Okay, let's do another example, and like that'll work well with another example. Do you want to try?
Let me try.
Okay.
אני לשתות, אני לשתות
לשתות
קר מים, או מים קר,
מים קרים.
קר,
קרים.
קור.
Yeah, קרים. So,
Okay.
so מים is in the plural. So like heavens. So like shamayim is it's essentially like a singular noun that implies plurality, like seed, like shamayim, and so on. So mayim is the same. The adjective has to fit in a number gender to the noun it modifies. So mayim has to be karim, it cannot be kal, because kal is singular, mayim is plural. It has to fit. It's like a puzzle piece. Okay. Now lishtot, li is the infinitive. It's to drink. So in essence, it's like you're saying, I to drink cold water. You want to say, I am drinking cold water, right? אני שותה מים קרים. אני שותה מים קרים. I'm drinking right now. I am drinking or I drink. שותה מים קרים. Yeah. So לשתות is the infinitive. לשתות, ללכת, לאהוב, to love. Okay. All right, it's good. Brent, do you want to try it?
אבי אברהם לומד את התורה בערב.
Fabulous. Really good.
I added the et ha since class because I now have understanding.
All right, okay, nice. So Avi Avraham, my father Abraham, it's the subject. Lomed, studies. Studies what? את התורה בערב.
The Torah at night.
Yep. And this is totally fine as well. אבי אברהם לומד תורה בערב. This is also okay to say. One is definite, one is indefinite.
Okay.
But, Torah, studies Torah. It's like saying like, my father Abraham studies math in the evening. Or my father Abraham studies science at night. Something like that, right? You could say epic Torah, it's totally fine. Good sentence. All right, someone else? Give it a shot. Mary Ellen?
So I had Hayelet Shali, Lomed Torah, Yerushalayim.
Very good sentence.
Studies.
הילד שלי לומד תורה בירושלים. Like that?
My boy studies Torah in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Boy, fine.
Boy.
Yeah.
My son,
Oh, good boy, boy.
not my son. I translated it as my son, but it's my boy.
Yeah, ילד is boy or like young kid, young male kid. Like not the goat kid, but kid, human. Yeah, that's a good sentence. Okay. Any other sentences? Right. Okay,
I don't know if it's right, but
it's okay. It's okay. We're here to learn.
what I had before tonight was Ha'aba Shali Kibul. But would it be Ha'aba et Shali Kibul?
Abba Shali Gibor you had?
Yeah.
So Abba is a proper noun, so you wouldn't put a
So I
definite
wouldn't need
article.
the
You wouldn't put a definite article with a proper noun. Abba Shali Gibor.
Ha'aba Shali Kibul.
And it's a good sentence too.
I had Abba Shali Hu Hagibor Shali. Is that right? It's a little different, but
Sec. Say that again.
Abba Shali Hu Hagibor Shali.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally. Yeah, that works well. Abba Shali Hu Hagibor Shali. Yeah, that's good. My dad is my hero. Right. That's good. Any more?
Another one I had was Ani Shalo Isha. But would it be et Shalo Isha? Or no, would it be?
Say that
I think I
again.
had the Ani Shalo Isha. But maybe it's Isha Shalo.
Yeah, that's right. Shut.
Isha Shalo.
Yeah. לאישה שלו. Because it will be like, I am his wife. Kind of like the to be verb is hiding somewhere this little nook here in between the words.
So I have a question. So I have Hadoda Shali Shara Shir Tov. Okay.
Mhm.
But now if you were to say Hadoda Shali Shara Shabbat Shalom, would you go at Shabbat Shalom? Since it's the title of the song.
Hadoda Shali Shara Shabbat Shalom. Well, it's like it'll be maybe this will help. Maybe that'll make sense. Maybe that'll make sense.
So we wouldn't need in newness.
No.
Shabbat shalom.
Hadoda Shali Shara Shabbat Shalom. Then when you put it in like the quotation marks, it will designate it as
Okay.
song. But it's not a proper noun, essentially.
I wasn't sure, it was just like, it's fairly specific song.
Mhm.
So that's why I thought, well. So how could you, oh, okay, so like, so say you would say Hadoda Shali Shara Shir Hashir Shali at Hashir Shali, like my song. My aunt sings my song.
Come again?
So like, I'm trying to think how you'd have a sentence where you'd have to use the word et. With that, so Hadoda Shali Shara et Hashir Shali.
The shir could be something like this. Hadoda Shali Shara et Hashir. Shabbat Shalom.
That's all.
Yeah. The song. Song, then colon, Shabbat Shalom. That'll be the name of the song. When I write it out like this, you are able to follow along with the consonants and the vowels, right?
Yes.
That's very good. It's very good.
More so than if it be cursive.
Oh, shit. We can arrange that. Here we go.
Why did I open my mouth?
Oh, that's a wild font, of course, too, isn't it?
Isn't that a pretty one?
Pretty, but.
This one is it's here a little bit more here. This one is a little bit better. It's a little bit more bold.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, so I'm going with that.
Yeah.
That looks like signs in Israel. Like store signage font.
Oh, really?
For sure. I feel like not official, not like government signage, but like
Yeah, sure.
storefront signage.
Oh, yeah.
Without the vowels.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this one. It's very pleasant to look at. It's one of my favorites. It's nice and bold.
What is your favorite? This one?
This-
Yeah,
This is.
yeah, I like this one. All right, guys, it's 8 p.m. I think I had a fruitful lesson. Do you feel like you understand it a little bit better?
Not just bad.
A little bit better, right? So syntax, right? So what comes first would be like the English, right? And then the definite object marker would usually mark something as a definite, right? And then we use ha as well. We use ha to mark definite, like definite, like nouns. Right, so Yelachili, it's a child of mine, which is kind of weird, but or Yelachili is my child, right? It's the child, right? Like pertaining to you were saying. Yelachili, no, if you got 20 of them and you don't know. Yelachili, no. All right. Hopefully it was good and beneficial and nice to you. Without more questions, I am available on WhatsApp, phone, email.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you next week, hopefully.